Battle control initialized.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Red Alert Gaming League Season 9 Minions Round 2. In the lower right corner, we have HansNihall playing as Russia. And in the upper left corner, we have Moods playing as Germany in purple, again with a very creative moniker. Let's go to the production tab. HansNihall with a distinct advantage. He's about 6 seconds ahead. Moods moving his MCV at the very beginning of the game. And I hope this is not an error with this map. I don't know if the players can deploy their MCV over this rough patch here. I don't know if Moods was forced to move or if he just chose to move to set himself to be a little less vulnerable from a potential water attack. HansNihall going for the upper derrick while Moods going for the lower derrick. A total of 2 oil derricks on this map. HansNihall coming in with his engineer. And Moods with 2 riflemen on Hans's 1 rifleman. He's going to shuffle them around a little bit and he takes the rifleman position, but he's not advancing on the engineer. HansNihall is going to have the first capture of the game. HansNihall with a scout around the upper back side of the map. Very interesting map we have here. Some protected gem mines. Negative. They're both ore mines with a little bit of gems around them. So, some good opportunities to advance. Some great opportunities to flank. We've seen this map in round 1. Moods scoping out Hans's base. HansNihall doing the same with his riflemen. Moods moving out. It appears to chase off that scout rifleman. Moods out with a light tank. HansNihall about to produce a flak truck. And another flak truck. You know, that light tank actually makes a really good scout because it has more armor than the APC, it's still very fast, and it is capable of taking out a flak truck no problem whatsoever. HansNihall is going to harass the crap out of Moods' army. Moves in too close and takes a blast of rifle fire. Black Truck has tremendous range. You can stay out of the range of basically any troop. I don't know if you can stay out of the range of Tesla troopers. Hans's flak truck getting chased off by Moods' light tank. Great usage of the light tank in the early game. Looks like HansNihall is going to be the first one to get a negative. Moods is going to be the first one to get an MCV out. Oof, and that light tank just getting a little too quick. Moods is sitting on his MCV, however, idle for just a few seconds. HansNihall now out with his MCV, moves it immediately. And Hans is going to take a defensive position, try to eco up. Moods with an income advantage, having captured Hans's oil derrick in the upper right-hand corner of the map. Moods is taking an offensive position with his MCV. Looks like he's going to go for an eco drop as well. And we've got the first major engagement of the game brewing up. We've got a line of sight from these mobile flak trucks on HansNihall's side. They are absolutely going to make mincemeat out of that army if they choose to move in. HansNihall moving out his main MCV. He's going to counter that offensive push from Moods. Moods with a good solid eco slide, moving 2 of his harvesters over to his expansion. And HansNihall drops a Tesla coil. He's about to go radar tech. And the Tesla coil's location has been given away. The army of Moods moving in immediately to take it out. And that Tesla coil's down with a flame tower in its place. Hans's army trading well, pushing Moods back. And HansNihall with his classic use of the mine layer is going to cut off any opportunity for Moods to flank. Those heavy tanks are no joke. They can take a pounding. Moods without reliable reinforcements on his expansion. Hans's army trading well. Now trading not so well. They've lost line of sight advantage. No more armor in that contingent with 4 medium tanks from Moods moving in. And a secondary army. Eco harassment, but with a V2 finding the mark. HansNihall out with his second MCV of the game, very early in the game, unable to find a way out of there. And Hans's first expansion MCV going down to Moods' tanks. And that is some serious eco harassment. Both players still on 6 harvesters with Moods on 2 derricks as well. Moods moving in, targeting the harvesters. HansNihall now down to 3 harvesters to Moods' 7. Moods with a distinct income advantage now, over 5,000. HansNihall's MCV finds a way out. He's going to try to restart in the upper right-hand corner of the map, but he is going to lose that main base. HansNihall strapped for cash, down to 2 harvesters. HansNihall calling a good game at 8 minutes and 39 seconds. 381 to 168. Let's go to the eco graph. Both players nearly dead even until minute 4.5, I'd say. Moods pulling ahead with the capture of that northern oil derrick and able to rout the forces of HansNihall from his first expansion. Not the best location. Hans taking the time to capture the, or rather expand to the ore fields behind him. Just gave Moods the opportunity at the same time to make a forward push. And, you know, the thing is with this map, it's very tempting to fall back and turtle, but that's not where the big money is. And it's also, quite frankly, not where the best base position is. Some brief engagements and all around a good game. Anyway, let's go to the military tab. Moods in the lead since minute 1. Converting his cash into bullets, coming out with that light tank and dispatching Hans's flak truck, really anticipating the flak truck maneuver from HansNihall. And yeah, all around good game. Red Alert Gaming League Season 9 Minions Round 2, going on to game number 2.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Red Alert Gaming League Season 9 Minions Round 2. In the lower right corner, we have Moods in purple, playing as Germany, and in the upper left corner, we have HansNihall in red as Russia. Let's go to the production tab. Moods about a second ahead in the deployment of his barracks. Not enough to gain a distinct advantage, but we'll see what he does. There are a total of 3 oil derricks on this map. Rather small map. Infantry is going to play a big role in this map. Whenever you have a small map, the infantry is able to cover a lot of ground. Of course, with larger maps, base pushes and stationary control being a little bit more important in my opinion. But what do I know? Both players dead even in actions per minute at 15. Moods committing to the upper derrick, rerouting his engineer for a safer path through. Moods going for the first capture of the game. And with a 4 stack, 2 of them at 50% at the southern oil derrick. Hans's forces spread out around the map. Good map awareness, watching those expansion points. Moods pulls his engineer back. And it looks like both players have gone double ref. Moods about to bust through that barbed wire. Gonna try to capture that center derrick. HansNihall camping Moods' barracks. Gets a couple of troops in the process. Both players out with a war factory. Moods is going light tank again. HansNihall out with an APC. Looks like he's loading up for a grenadier drop. And that's a 5 stack of grenadiers. Moods' engineer heading towards the center derrick. HansNihall leading the way in actions per minute. And also HansNihall ahead in income. I wonder if he's microing those harvesters. Oh, and that light tank escapes on a sliver of health. He's going to have to avoid the riflemen as well. HansNihall with that grenadier, truckload of grenadiers on their way to say hello to Moods' base. HansNihall coming out with another APC, loading up another grenadier drop. No one suspects a double grenadier drop. Mood's repairing his light tank. Out with his third barracks. Both players on 3 barracks. And Mood's out with his MCV about a full 36 seconds ahead of HansNihall. He's going to have better map control for sure. We'll see what happens with this dual Grenadier drop. Mine layer mining the left flank of the map. That's very interesting. Mood's going for an eco expansion with not a whole lot of defensive units back at his base. This could quite possibly be good game with this Grenadier drop. And the Grenadiers finding their mark on the power plant, claiming a barracks. And one of the APCs escaping to the south. A sizable force from Moods is going to move in on the first expansion location of HansNihall. Hans deploying his MCV with a eco drop and a flame tower. Troops only. He's going to have to pull that harvester if he wants it to survive. Harvester is down to about 50% health. HansNihall holding the position with his sizable infantry force. And that mine layer is still hard at work mining the left-hand flank of the map. Pop and drop from HansNihall, moving out to take his second expansion. Mood's still on his first expansion. Just now beginning an eco slide of 2 harvesters. And that MCV is going to be part of the main force there. Committing to an engagement, trading well. Moods' army falls back. And Moods is going to run right into that minefield. A good portion of his force being taken out by those mines, taking out the mine layer as well. But that is enough to break through despite the casualties in the minefield. HansNihall rerouting his forces. HansNihall still with the income advantage despite being behind 2 oil derricks. Both players nearly even in actions per minute. And the combination of Tesla coil and reinforcements, now a flame tower. They're going to chase off the forces of Moods. HansNihall going for a scorched earth policy, taking out the oil derrick of Moods. Moods quickly reassembling his forces. He's on to his second war factory, and so is Hans. Looks like Hans is up to 5 barracks. Moods on 4 barracks. Moods moving out for his second expansion, deploying a pillbox. And a sizable tank force from Moods moving in to dispatch the forces of HansNihall. No worries though, Hans has got a substantial force moving in from the north. 3 heavy tanks. Forces of HansNihall quickly obliterated. And it looks like Moods might be preparing to make a push on Hans's main base again. Both players now on 8 harvesters. Moods with only 1 remaining oil derrick. Moods ahead by about 3,000 income at this point. Both players on their second expansion. HansNihall with the line of sight advantage from his structures trading a little bit better. His medium tanks finding decent crushes, but just not able to stand up to the massive amount of infantry. Looks like Moods might take this engagement. And we've got another Grenadier negative. That is a mine layer going to mine the enemy's war patch. Moods basically taking control of Hans's first and second expansion. We'll see what he can get away with here. Splitting his army and going after the war factory as well as the harvesters. Gets the war factory. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get that MCV. HansNihall now down to 3 harvesters and no derricks. Looks like Moods might get that MCV after all. And Moods moving out his main MCV. HansNihall with 2 mine layers on the field. But he's strapped for cash with only 4,000 income and 3 harvesters. Moods is floating 8K. HansNihall now down to 2 harvesters. Now down to 1 harvester. And Moods claims Hans's natural expansion point. Destroys that Tesla coil. HansNihall calling it good game at 12 minutes and 9 seconds. 641 to 380. Let's go to the ecograph. Both players dead even until minute 4. Moods taking the oil derricks and behind in army size. That's very interesting. I think Moods was just splitting his army a little bit better. Hans invested in those mine layers to limited effect. I think maybe building 2 of them might have been a little overzealous. Usually mining the ore field and, you know, 1 flanking position is enough. It looks like he mined a total of 3 flanking positions, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 up to the north, while trying to mine that ore mine right there near Moods' main base. Maybe a better idea would have been to mine this one, since this flank was nearly open the entire time. Anyway, Red Alert Gaming League Season 9, Minions, Round 2.
Battle control terminated.